Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, January 30th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Last night at about 8 p.m. in Quebec City in Canada, two gunmen entered a mosque and began shooting automatic weapons. It was the time of prayer services in the mosque. They fired at about 50 people in the Quebec Islamic Cultural Center. 6 people at least have been confirmed dead. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the shooting as a terrorist attack on Muslims in a center of worship and refuge. He said Muslim Canadians are an important part of our national fabric, and these senseless acts have no place in our communities, cities, and country. The shooting came on the weekend that Trudeau said that Canada would welcome refugees after American President Donald Trump suspended the U.S. refugee program. Australian insurer QBE has denied that it is considering selling out to rival global insurer Allianz. This is after the German newspaper Handelsblatt reported that Allianz CEO Oliver Beth met with QBE boss John Neal before Christmas. There are suggestions that a price of Australian $15 a share has been floated, which would put QBE's valuation at about 20 billion Australian dollars. A QBE spokesperson dismissed the story, saying that the company has, quote, a clearly articulated strategy that focuses its position as one of only a handful of truly global insurers. QBE shares were up about 5% today to a 14-month high. President Trump is vigorously defending his immigration restrictions as protests spread throughout the United States, saying that this is about terror and keeping our country safe. He issued a statement saying, to be clear, this is not a Muslim ban, as the media is falsely reporting. There has been widespread outrage throughout the country, and even some from Republicans in the Senate. Trump said, I have tremendous feeling for the people involved in the horrific humanitarian crisis in Syria. My first priority will always be to protect and serve our country, but as president, I will find ways to help those who are suffering. Trump's ban barred entry from 7 majority Muslim nations, not including Saudi Arabia, where most of the September 11, 2001 hijackers came from. A U.S. federal judge in Brooklyn ruled that people who were already in transit could not be delayed unreasonably, and that prompted a cascade of rulings from federal judges around the country. Right now, the situation is somewhat unclear, although the Department of Homeland Security has now backtracked on the order saying that those with green cards, in fact, can enter the country. It has prompted responses from people ranging from Bill Gates to Warren Buffett to Silicon Valley to just about most Democrats, as well as many Republicans, saying that the idea of blocking entry into the United States for refugees or from legal immigrants who are part of the fabric of the country is not a good idea. Shareholders of Endurance Specialty Holdings have backed the company's $6.3 billion takeover by Sompo Holdings. The merger is now subject to regulatory approvals, but the deal is expected to close before the end of March. The vote occurred on Friday. The arrangement was done back last fall. The proxy statement released some information as to how the deal came together. It said that John Charman, the CEO of Endurance, and Nigel Frudd, an executive officer of Sompo, had begun to have discussions in March and May of last year, talking about opportunities to develop the company's existing business relationship. In May, Charman indicated to Frudd that Endurance was not for sale. A series of discussions involving top officers of both companies continued into July and August, which led to an agreement by Sompo to purchase Endurance. At an Endurance board meeting in September of last year, Charman told directors that Sompo had not yet made an acquisition proposal, but it was possible that an offer would come. The Endurance board authorized Charman to continue discussions with Sompo and allowed the Japanese company to conduct due diligence on Endurance. Sompo then, at the end of September, made a $90 per share takeover offer. After further discussions, it was increased up to $93 a share, and it was accepted by the Endurance board. Delta Airlines had another computer problem yesterday. It said that its essential information technology systems have finally been restored about midnight last night following a 5-hour outage that caused the cancellation of about 170 flights on Sunday, as well as another 80 more today on Monday as a result of cascading effects. At least 47 people have been killed in a traffic accident north of Madagascar's capital, Antananarivo, according to police. The incident took place early on Saturday when a truck carrying wedding guests swerved off the road and were plunged into a river. Despite all of its problems, Volkswagen has overtaken Toyota to become the world's best-selling car maker, the first time VW has held that position. Japan's Toyota, which had top sales for the past 4 years, sold 10.175 million vehicles last year. Volkswagen sold 10.31 million vehicles. General Motors is expected to report next week, but it's expected to lag behind both Toyota and Volkswagen. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.